Hello from Sport Beach 2026. I'm Miles Brickley. I'm the Senior Director of Growth at Kettle. We're a digital creative agency that's reinventing the way that people meet brands online, and I'm delighted to be sitting here with Mark Grether from PayPal Ads.
Thanks so much for having me.
Tell us a little bit more about PayPal Ads and the way that it allows brands to actually show up and connect with audiences differently compared to the competitive set at the current moment.
Yeah, so we have launched PayPal Ads about 2 years ago, so it's now a second can. Great to be here. And yeah, when we go to our advertisers, we basically allow them to tap into what we call our transaction graph, meaning we have data from 30 million merchants, 400 million consumers globally. And so unlike anyone else, we have the transaction data across so many merchants, which means we have a much deeper insight what consumers actually purchase online. And we enable now advertisers to tap into that, enabling them to reach truly users who actually are in the moment to buy something. And that's really kind of unique and differentiated. We do so in the US, in UK, and Germany. We reach our audiences on our own properties, aka PayPal, as well as Venmo and Honey. But we also have collaborations with other inventory sources, which means we are kind of really broad in terms of where we can reach our audiences and where we can enable our advertisers to tap into our transaction graph.
That's fantastic. And so, what impact have you seen when working with advertisers on how much more valuable that transaction data is to actually understanding what message, what placement, and that interaction will be even more valuable because of it?
Yeah, there are two different components. The first one is targeting in itself. Who are we actually reaching, right? And in addition to just having the data from PayPal, we also have data from Venmo. So you might have kind of had a late night pizza here, right? And you might
Guilty.
and you might share it with your friends, right? And we know it from Venmo, or you have Honey browser data, which allows us to see what people are actually doing from a browsing perspective. And the key point here is that we don't do that just for targeting. We also have measurement. And with measurement, to your point, we can then show to our advertisers how actually is their campaign performing. Not just from a single retailer perspective, but as I mentioned, across all the merchants. And that leads to proof points such as that we had campaigns with Adorama, where on the one hand, we saw significantly higher return on advertising spend, 7-8x. But also we were able, leveraging our transaction data, to provide incremental buyers to them. Another case study which we shared here in Cannes was with Best Buy. Similar situation, if you tap into true transaction data as opposed to just online behavior or cookie-based targeting, right? A similar situation, significantly higher ROAS. In this case, it was about 8x. Yeah, and that really kind of shows you the power of the transaction data, the fact that we truly know what people are buying, have this kind of perspective across so many merchants. And again, we're leveraging that to kind of make the money for our advertisers work harder.
Exactly. Cutting through the noise, allowing those advertisers, allowing those brands to create much more meaningful connections based on the understanding of the audience. And you spoke a lot about the measurement and the impact so far. And has that been kind of the theme you're seeing around Cannes this year? It's about the proof. It's not just about the new launches or the new features. It's about proving that it actually works.
Exactly. And I mean, every conversation here is about AI, right? But the big difference compared to last year is, last year it was more about what we potentially could do. Maybe we had an alpha or beta. This year, at least from our perspective, it's less about the next new shiny object that we might have forgotten in 4, 6, 8 weeks when we're all back stateside. But it's really about demonstrating that what we actually do have actually performs, right? And so for us, it was about we launched in the last 18 months things like our identity graph, so that we can actually identify you, that who you are, right, across our 40 million consumers based on our payment infrastructure. As I mentioned, we launched our transaction graph. We launched offsite ads. We launched collaborations with CTV providers to provide closed-loop attribution. We launched Schaubeblatts, right? We launched so many things, and so this year was really about how can we prove that what we have launched actually does perform on our behalf, on the behalf of our advertiser. Hence the case studies with Best Buy, with Adorama, with Etsy as another client of us. And so it was really about making sure that we show it does perform. We're not just here to market ourselves, but we actually have the proof points. And that was kind of for us really the key element why we went to Cannes and spoke to advertisers about it does actually work.
It's providing that clarity that so many marketers, so many advertisers would be reaching for when they're making those key investment decisions about where they need to show up and how. It sounds like you're really enabling that and giving them that visibility.
Yeah, exactly. Man, making a claim is easy, right?
Exactly.
We have more data, we have better inventory, we have a better ad, we have a better AI, right? Claiming is easy, but proving that you can actually do it is much, much harder. And that's what we focus on this year here in Cannes.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thanks so much for having me.